problems, scams, and thievery. A place where comfort is your only concern. Imagine Comfort Time Live. Coming to you live to tackle all of your home comfort concerns with your hosts, Tom and Dino.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting show, Comfort Time Live, with my compadre, Mr. Dino Cook.
What happening, brother? How we doing this morning?
My brother from another mother. What's
yeah,
up?
but Mom always liked you best.
Yeah, well, you know, she always liked the good-looking one.
That's right.
She fed you a lot more, though.
Funny, we were just talking about wide angles. I no longer like you.
Join the crowd. There's a long list, buddy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Once again, another wonderful day here at Comfort Time Live.
We're enjoying it. We got all kinds of things happening. Man, met a bunch of great people this week. Did a lot of networking this week with Martini Network, Treasure Coast Builders Association, and I tell you, it's amazing the people that are out there. I should have really started doing this a long time ago. There's some absolutely wonderful people, some great businesses. In fact, at the Martini Network last night, I decided to donate as a door prize a free interview on one of our stations.
Oh, excellent.
As you know, we do 3 different shows. We do this show here, WPSL. We do another show on Saturdays that we can't talk about.
All right.
But we do another show on Saturdays. But you can go to comforttimelive.com and find out what that show is.
Yes.
And then we also do National Blog Talk Radio on Wednesdays.
We're national. All 3 of our listeners out there nationally.
All 3 of them. We have them from, well, we actually may have another from Kentucky now.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we have a gentleman in the studio with us in the back here. His name's Matt. He's from Kentucky. Drove all the way down here to help us do some stuff, but actually helping to write a book with us. We're going to write a book from all the experience and whatnot that we have here at Comfort Time Live and a bunch of other stuff. And I think it's going to be
really exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, like you were saying, I've never even had a woman drive a block for me, and here I got a guy and his wife driving 15 hours to see me. So that's pretty impressive. But today, what we're talking about today is we have a special guest on the line with us, and we have Ty from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing. Ty, good morning.
Good morning. How are you gentlemen today?
Can you tell in our voice we're doing horrible?
Yeah, I can see it. just like when I was there with you the last time. It was just awful.
Just awful, yeah.
It's nothing but Mai Tais and Goombay smashes over here.
That's it.
I wonder if they would let us bring drinks in while we're doing the show.
Dude, if they let us bring drinks, I'm wearing coconut top with a hula skirt. Dude, thank God it's radio.
Oh, that would be so nasty. Could be the new BenJamin Franklin mascot.
Now that would be a sight for I don't think too many people would want to see.
No, absolutely not. Well, BenJamin Franklin, as you know, folks, is one of our sponsors, and the reason that they're one of our sponsors is
because it's a great show.
Well, that it is.
Well, you know what? God, now I got to give him $50. I told him every time he said something nice, I'd have to give him $50.
I got some change.
It is. I really appreciate that, Ty. But Ben Franklin is a company. We've talked on the show over the past couple months about the Contractors Exam Board and the agendas with all the people that are doing less than honest contracting work or unlicensed activity. And the one thing that you will never find BenJamin Franklin Plumbing on the Contractors Exam Board agenda.
Good.
Never. Is that right, Ty?
That's absolutely correct.
And what do you think one of the reasons that is, Ty?
Well, we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Basically, we have an A1 accredited rating with the Better Business Bureau. We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that our clients are 100% satisfied with everything that we do. We do everything to code, permits when they're needed, and it's just, we do what it takes to make sure that the job gets done correctly, to code, and we actually are part of the Treasure Coast Builders Association. The different our owners in different boards out there to help make sure that we get people out there knowing that we need to get licensed contractors. You need them in your homes. You get people out there that say they're licensed and they do this work and it's unsafe, and the people wind up having problems later on, and there's no way to go back after them. You can't find them, as we all found out kind of during the hurricanes the hard way.
Right.
I heard horror stories about that after the hurricanes come
especially
through.
Roofers. I think roofers were probably one of the biggest issues, right, Ty?
Yeah, that big thing with the blue roof, the blue tarps. Everybody had blue tarps all over their roofs, and those roofing contractors were just going, or said roofing contractors were just going wild, taking money from people, saying, "Oh yeah, well my guys will be there in 3 weeks. We got 2 people before you," and just taking money and then just disappearing.
Crooks, man, just absolute crooks. They all need to be found, drug out in the middle of the street, and shot.
Yep.
But you'll never see BenJamin Franklin Plumbing on there, and that's one of the reasons that I was really wanting them to be a part of the show. But the biggest thing we're doing is they're already doing all kinds of things. Ty and Matt, who work at the office, and Bob, they are all a part of the community doing things, and that's what also makes a company different, is that they're not just there for themselves. And I like that.
We did for a perfect example. You brought that up, and it's just a perfect example that, I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but we had, and it's a little thing with the little old lady thing, and she just, was a mobile home, no money, no family to speak of to help her out, and, her water heater was leaking, and we actually had a restoration company come in, and they repaired the floor, dried her out her trailer, did a little repair on her floor so it was safe for her, and we installed the water heater, and it was, there was no charge for any of it. We just took care of her. I mean,
wow.
She had
That's
nothing.
awesome.
I mean, it was just, and it doesn't happen at all, but once in a while, people do need somebody out there, and
Right.
we try to do what we can.
You guys gave back, and that's that's fantastic.
And
It
see,
says a lot.
situations like that, though, are also prime breeding grounds for unlicensed activity, scam artists. When you got poor people in a situation like that are desperate for help, and you get these little bottom feeders going in there.
Yep.
And it's good, and that's why I want to promote the really strong companies that don't just think about themselves. That's why BenJamin Franklin Plumbing is definitely on the absolute top of my list for that. Now, if you ever want to get in touch with BenJamin Franklin Plumbing, you can give them a call at 866-BEN-1776.
Or go to ComfortTimeLive.com.
Or ComfortTimeLive.com, because if you go to ComfortTimeLive.com and you click under sponsors, you're going to see a big old pretty picture of BenJamin Franklin there. If you click on that, it takes you right to their website. But we did talk about this one last time, Ty, but and I'm putting you on the spot here, but have you been to ScheduleSomeHelp.com?
Actually, when it first came up, I did take a look at it. No, none of those handsome gentlemen on there is me. But,
we weren't going there, were we?
he was. Tom was going there. I knew where he was going with that. So.
I just need some help on my golf swing, man. That's all I want.
Because that was the key word, handsome.
When it first came out, we brought it up here on the website here and took a look at it. It was really, really good.
Now, Tom, have you met Ty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so does he have a face for radio?
Oh, yeah. He's got a face for radio, face for plumbing. No, he's a great guy. Very intelligent. We're going to actually we're going to pick his brain about some stuff to see how. Still haven't figured out how he got his wife.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, very pretty lady. And it's like when you walk down the street and you look at two people and you see the good-looking girl and you see the guy next to him. You're like, okay, something's just not clicking here.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe he's rich.
That's definitely not it.
But no, they're a great couple. She actually works at BenJamin Franklin Plumbing as well. And,
really?
So real great stuff. But we're speaking about unlicensed folks and whatnot. I want to mention to listeners that August 4th on one of our other shows, can't mention which show, we have a John Hocken from Hocken Associates, is an attorney for the construction industry, is going to be on our show talking about the things that get people in trouble. So make sure you tune in. We're going to it's all going to be posted on ComfortTimeLive.com. So we're going to make sure that you tune in. And then also next Friday here on WPSL 1590, we're going to have Elite Electric, one of our other absolutely top-of-the-line sponsors. So some great stuff. So now, one of the things that it was questioned, this was a tip of the day that Mr. Dino brought up one time. Finding your water shutoff valve.
Yeah, a lot of people, when my technicians go to the house, that's one of the questions that they ask them. Just a little basic, little conversation piece, asking people about their house and their plumbing system, and then we ask them, do you know where your main water shutoff valve is? And you'd be surprised. It's probably about 50-50. People do not know where their main water shutoff valve is.
Now, I know where the main water shutoff valve is at the street. Now, I can run right up there, pop the lid off.
Now, is that the one you're talking about, Ty?
Well, it depends. There are a lot of, I'm sure in your radio listening area around here, basically you have some older homes that are in Fort Pierce that do not have one on the side of the house. All they have is there's a meter box out by the road, and there's a shutoff in there. But most the newer homes, I'd say within the past 15 or 20 years, around that area, they have a valve. Pipe comes up on the outside of the house.
Right.
There may be a hose faucet right there, as well as the main shutoff valve.
Now,
and then it goes into the house.
Yeah, I know mine doesn't have one.
Yeah, be careful when you twist that valve to shut your water off.
Which one? The one at the street?
The one on the side of the house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Found out the hard way, Ty.
What were we out to your house to replace that after you broke it?
No. I jury rigged it somehow. But I don't know how many years ago it was when I actually owned my own home. Won't do that again. Was deciding to. I think one of the heater elements in the water heater went out.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, I'm in the construction industry. I could do this myself.
Oh, absolutely.
I could do this myself. I know I can fix that element.
I'm not a plumber, but I've laid a lot of pipe.
Yeah. So, of course, the first thing you think is, well, I got to get that. I got to get the heating element out, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if the heating element's bad, I got to pull it out. Well, in order to pull it out, I probably have to drain the water heater, right?
Sure.
Makes sense, Ty?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, okay, I'm on the right path. So what do? First thing I do is I open up the valve at the bottom of the water heater and I start draining it.
Sure. You can hook a hose up.
What issue do you see with that already, Ty? That's the first thing that I did.
Hey, did you unhook the electric?
Well, well, he's not going to have a problem with that the way he went, because the thing is never going to empty. He never shut the water off.
Well, that was first problem.
I might have been there with you. I just got to empty this thing. Damn.
So then when I finally shut the water off,
50 gallons of water's lasted 8 hours.
It starts draining. Well, what do you think the next thing that happens? What's the next thing that happens, Ty, after I shut the water off and finally drain it?
I'm thinking here what the next one was. It when you went to turn it back on?
No, I never turned it off.
Oh, okay.
I never turned the electricity off,
Oh.
so I burn out the bottom second heater element.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you listening, this is why we recommend having a professional come out to your house to look at all the stuff, because you may have an idea what you're doing, but
now, as I went to shut the valve off at the top of going into the water heater, it was an older valve. Well, the valve started leaking. Couldn't get it to shut off. So I started to try to unsolder it. Well, forgot to shut the water off at the street. So then there's water going all over the place. So I rush outside because I knew that the valve was on the side of the house.
Dude, were your parents brother and sister?
They dropped me on my head. So I rush out to the side of the house, Ty, and what do? Is I grab that knob, that water knob on the outside, because I knew it was the off-on switch, and I turn it, and what happens? It breaks off right in my hand. So, yes, you need to know where your shutoff valves are, all of them. Otherwise, you'll be a...
Dude, that was just like a cartoon, man. You just needed to film that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you do not do.
Honestly, Tom, you'd be surprised how many times we get that story and the people calling in for repairs, and we get that same exact story.
Unreal.
Some people are just too cheap sometimes to want to call a licensed guy. It's like, oh, I can fix this. This is easy to do.
And then that's when the wife's sitting in the background after like 4 hours. Honey,
would you just call
Please
somebody?
call Ben Franklin, please.
You know, this is just like, no, I'm not stopping for directions. I can
That's
do this.
Exactly it.
The ego gets the best of
Well, you
us.
remember what I told you? You remember what I told you the last time, Tom?
What's
Directions
that?
are just another man's opinion.
Right.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our first quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk to Ty. Ty's going to figure out what he's going to let us give away because we got some great trivia headed your way. I'm Tom with Dino. You're listening to Cover Time Live.
Tired of struggling to find the right air conditioning contractor? Heard those horror stories about people being scammed out of thousands of dollars? Well, Comfort Time Live has found a great air conditioning contractor that they approve and you can trust. Ranger Air Conditioning Service. Ranger has been in business on the Treasure Coast for more than 38 years, providing the best in quality and customer service. Ranger Air Conditioning Service is family-owned and operated by Tom Ranger. He and his highly trained staff and team members are waiting to earn your business. So give Ranger Air Conditioning Service a call at 772-546-7777. That's Ranger Air Conditioning Service at 772-546-7777 and recommended by Comfort Time Live. Don't forget to tell them you heard about them here on WPSL 1590 and receive a special discount.
BenJamin Franklin Plumbing would like to help you schedule some help, whatever on-time help you need. For plumbing emergencies like a busted water heater, go to schedulesomehelp.com. Sewage problems? Schedulesomehelp.com. If water is dripping from your ceiling, schedulesomehelp.com. If you need help repairing that leaky faucet or upgrading your shower head, schedulesomehelp.com. Want help with your golf game? Yep, schedulesomehelp.com. Right now, get help for $25 at schedulesomehelp.com. Limitations and exclusions apply. See schedulesomehelp.com for full details. BenJamin Franklin Plumbing can help you schedule the on-time help you need. Busted water heater? Schedulesomehelp.com. Leaky faucet? Schedulesomehelp.com. Help with your honey-do list? Perhaps. Get help for $25 at schedulesomehelp.com.
Limitations and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Elite Electric with security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Visit online at eliteelectricanair.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live, Friday mornings at 11 on WPSL.
All right, we are back, and you are listening to Comfort Time Live with Tom and Dino. And we have the ever so popular and studly figure, Mr. Ty from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing, on the phone.
You thought we were talking about you, didn't you, Cliff?
Cliff got all excited. He's, oh, they're talking about me.
No. I know you talk better than that about me.
Yeah.
Cliff, I don't care what everybody else has been saying around here about you. I like you.
Yeah, see, he stood up for me.
340-1590 is the number to call here at the studio if you have a question, comment, suggestion, or maybe you just want to call Dino and I up and say, man, you guys are some good-looking radio people. You could do that too.
Yeah, phones aren't ringing yet. I don't know what's going on with there.
So, Ty, what can we give away today on our show from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing?
Well, actually, we have our Ben Society membership we can give away. We can give that away to one of your listeners.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically, our Ben Society members, they get a whole house plumbing inspection. They also get a water heater maintenance, which is supposed to be done once a year. And they also get 15% off any service calls or repairs, replacements that we do.
A big question mark comes across my brow when you say
And that's
maintenance.
a big brow.
Right. Comes across my brow when you say maintenance on a water heater.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a lot of... In that little book that hangs on the side of your water heater there's that little plastic packet.
I thought that was trash.
Yeah, that's where you put your garbage from the garage.
All right.
No, but in there, basically, all water heater manufacturers will tell you that approximately about once a year, you should do a maintenance drain and flush your water heater. Helps prolong the life of the water heater, keeps it more energy efficient.
Wow.
Very cool. I never knew that.
Wow.
I used to have, when I lived up in Canada in my cardboard box up there, I used to my hot water heater used to sound like my water heater. I did say it. I did say hot water heater, didn't I? My water.
It's cold, right, Ty? It's cold. It's not hot when you heat it, right?
That's
the
right.
whole purpose.
It's my
of it.
cold water heater. used to sound like a percolator coffee pot. It would, bubble and boil and percolate, and I was always told that it was all the calcium buildup and everything that was inside of it.
Yep. Was it gas?
Yes.
Yep. Basically what happens is, mostly we have down here, we have electric water heaters and gas water heaters. And when you're running gas water heaters, your flame is underneath the bottom of the water heater. Now just imagine you're cooking on your stove. Now you got all this calcium on the bottom of the water heater between the flame and where the water is. So just put a patio brick on top of the stove, put a pot of water on top of the brick. How much longer do you think it's going to take to get hot going through that brick? So that's basically what you kind of compare it to. So if you drain and flush the water heater, get that sediment off the bottom, now the heat can get directly to the water without going through the calcium first.
I think I'm calling BenJamin Franklin Plumbing this afternoon, schedule somebody to come out and drain my water here, because I'd have done the same thing you do. I'm going to hook a hose up to the bottom, turn it on, and drain it, come back, and it's still draining 8 hours later. What am I doing wrong?
And your water bill's like $400.
Just for the engineers that are listening out there that are questioning what I'm talking about, you have to remember electrics are a little different. Electrics, we don't have to worry about the heat getting through the bottom. The elements stick into the side of the heater. They're higher up. They're not on the bottom. But yet, what that flushing and draining does is, when sediment sits on the bottom in the same spot for a long period of time, it'll tend to corrode and rot out the bottom a lot quicker. So by draining and flushing your electric heater, it's going to keep it out from, rotting the bottom of the water heater out, because that's basically what usually happens is that all of a sudden the bottom of somebody's water heater will let loose and just flood the garage or the house or wherever it may be. And
so what is it? Is it bad if I go to flush my water heater and I turn the little valve and it comes out looking like a brown sludge?
Well, sometimes you do get that. I mean, it just depends on, one, your water quality that's coming into the house. Do you have well water or do you have city water?
City water.
Well, it depends on how long it's been since it's been done.
Okay.
So,
That's excellent.
Sometimes we do get that. They're fairly old water heaters when we get that. They've been there for a while, never been flushed, never been maintained. The average life of a water heater in South Florida is about 8 to 12 years, average. But you can prolong the life, make it maybe last 12, 15, maybe even 20 years if you do the routine maintenance on it.
Perfect. And for those who are listening, it is required to have a permit if you have to replace your water heater.
Yes. Well, almost everywhere. But we'll just say yes, because in most, probably 95% of the places around here, you do need a permit. So.
And it's not like rolling a new one in, hooking the two little hoses up to the top, and turning it on and hooking the electric. There's more to it than that.
It's because it's got the electrical, which could be a hazardous issue. It also has the water that can flood and cause major damage, and that's why a lot of things are permitted that have issues with them that could potentially be life-threatening to someone.
And it's not only that. I mean, it's also, and this is the way I explain it to our clients, is that, that people think, oh, the cities just want to make more money. Well, that's not exactly true.
I've never heard that before.
It's basically, to make sure the contractor that's doing is licensed, insured, making sure they did it correctly coming out, making sure the safety for the home and for the homeowner and their family, making sure, because if it's not done correctly, whether it's a gas or electric, if it's not done correctly, it can become a hazard.
Yeah, you're right. And you're talking, there's yahoos out there just like me who would be standing in a puddle of water trying to replace a water heater. No, did I turn the breaker off? Or didn't I? I'll find out in a minute.
Yeah, like the guy where they had the thing when the guy was under the under the mobile home doing the electrical work. He was an apprentice and doing moonlighting and thought he knew electrical and blew himself up.
Yep.
So
to the moon.
All right, so let's go ahead and do our trivia question. We're going to give away that society from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing, which is absolute. What's the value on that, Ty?
Basically, the way we look at it is when we do a whole house inspection for somebody, we normally charge $389 for that, plus the water heater maintenance, which is $99.
What a great value!
Our club members, they pay an annual fee at a year at a time. It's $115 per year to renew it.
So for one time, we're looking at almost $400. But if they were a member, they would pay almost $200. So, wow, that's huge. So okay,
still a great value.
So 340-1590. Now, what I have done is the young lady that I met at the Martini Network last night. It writes books.
Did you guys walk around with martinis in your hands? Or
They
anything?
actually had 2 martinis at the front door when you walk in, and it was cool. And it's just a networking.
Very
and
cool.
You get to all kinds of businesses. The Harvest Food Network was there, and all kinds of other folks. Really, really nice. And I gotta go. They're having another one at Sebastiano's Wednesday. And there's supposed to be like 70 or 80 plus businesses there. And Sebastiano's is a beautiful place. Beautiful place. It's like walking into the old style Italian. The mafia sitting in the background. And
Hey, how you doing?
so the book that we're going to start doing all of our trivia from is written by Jane Flynn, and just absolutely wonderful. It's called The Best Trivia Book Ever, and she classifies herself as the queen of trivia.
Wow.
So we're going to start using this as trivia. A lot of this stuff is pretty awesome. So our first trivia question to win Benjamin Franklin Society sponsorship at 340-1590. Which president enjoyed his whiskey drinking and card playing in the White House?
All of them. Oh, you forgot womanizing, gambling. Oh, sorry.
Cigar smoking.
I did not have
You just gave it
relationships with
away.
that woman.
All right, now I'll give you the names. But which president enjoyed his whiskey drinking and card playing in the White House? A. Warren G. Harding, which I didn't even know that was a president. I skipped that grade in school. Lyndon B. Johnson or Chester A. Arthur. 340-1590. Which president enjoyed his whiskey drinking and card playing in the White House? Is it A. Warren G. Harding, B. Lyndon B. Johnson, or C. Chester A. Arthur? First one to give us a call, 340-1590, will win that prize, and that's a sweet prize.
It's an awesome prize, but I'm still going to go with every single president. Every single one of them.
This may be the
gambling.
This may be the only one that we know of.
Right. I did not have relationships with that woman, I swear.
Oh, gosh. So now, Ty, I know we've talked about this before, but tell us a little bit more about what's we could probably open up the phone book and find 100 plumbers. What separates Benjamin Franklin from the other guys?
Well, I like to say it's the friendliness of our staff, the technicians, and our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Again, there is no fine print when it comes to that. We will
Jim was going to think about using something like that on his dating scene, but it didn't work too good.
Honey, I give you 100% satisfaction. You will not like me.
I'm sorry, God.
No, that's all right. But they, that's what I think we attribute it to. The people are going to be 100% satisfied, or we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure they are. Our warranties are longer. Minimum, on recommended repairs is 2 years, parts and labor. You're lucky if you find another plumber that does, 30, 60, 90 days, sometimes a year. You're
lucky.
one.
Some of them even warranty by the time they walk out the door.
Yeah, they call that the tail light warranty. As soon as the tail lights disappear, that's the end of your warranty. But we go above and beyond. We're going to take care of you. The other thing is that my staff and my technicians, we love teaching people about their plumbing systems. If you want to know something, when we're there, ask. Even if you're not in the, my tech's not there and you have a question, call. We'll be happy to answer your question for you. If they can't answer the question in the office, we'll call one of the technicians, and the technicians will call you back and try to come up with the answer to your question.
I tell you what, that's excellent that you guys offer that guarantee. And I just want to say for our listeners, or ask for our listeners, is when you guys offer all these services, is plumber's crack included, or is that excluded?
No. Actually, it's a good point. All of our technicians we have uniformed technicians that are butt crack free.
Good, because there's nothing worse than coming home seeing a guy up underneath my sink and seeing 6 inch of crack hanging out. It's like, dude, is that where you put your pencil or what?
Oh, okay.
No, but when they reach in and they grab their pipe wrench, then you should worry.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to go to the phones. We have a listener who thinks that she may have the answer to our question. We have Lori. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Oh, absolutely
Excellent.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So the question was which president enjoyed his... Now, were you calling for the trivia?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
I was.
Okay. Which president enjoyed his whiskey drinking and card playing in the White House? Was it Warren G. Harding, Lyndon B. Johnson, or Chester A. Arthur?
Well, and I also do agree it's probably all of them. But since we're picking one, I'm guessing Lyndon Johnson.
Oh, do we have another call? We have another one on hold? We do? Okay. Well, we're gonna put Lori on hold because we had a couple callers, so we're gonna put Lori on hold. We want to see what kind of different answers we have, and then we're gonna come back and tell who won. So we have Maureen. Hello, Maureen.
Good morning.
How are you, young lady?
Oh, I'm fine and dandy today.
Wonderful. So, which president enjoyed his whiskey drinking and card playing in the White House? Was it Warren G. Harding, Lyndon B. Johnson, or Chester A. Arthur?
I think Harding.
You think Harding. Well, you are absolutely correct, Maureen, and I didn't want to give it away that Lori had chose the wrong one because in case there was something else on there. But Lori, I apologize. Thank you for calling, and Maureen, I want to thank you so much. Now, how did you know that, Maureen?
How did I enjoy trivia also.
Oh, okay. Well, wonderful. That's great. Yeah, this
fantastic.
This book is. I started scrolling through this book last night, and I actually was going to buy it from Jane, and I started talking about the radio show and that I do trivia all the time. And she's like, Tom, as long as you mention that I wrote the trivia questions, she goes, you can have the book. I'm like,
wow, what a nice woman.
I'm like,
oh yeah, we want to thank her very much for allowing us to be able to have that.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
fantastic.
And it's amazing. She's got fun facts in here. She's got trivia. She's got jokes in here, riddles. It's an awesome book, and it's called The Best Trivia Book Ever. So, Maureen, if you like trivia, it may be a really good book for you to get. What I can do is get with Jane and see if maybe we can post it up on our website or find a ways to get some copies. But it's an awesome book. Awesome book.
And we're going to start going through that book, through our shows, doing trivia. So it's a pretty thick book. So
yeah,
hey, we're going to be on the air a long time now.
Yeah, it's at least about an inch thick and a lot of stuff in there. So, well, awesome, Marie. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this information over to Ty from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing, and they're going to go ahead and give you a call right away and go ahead and schedule your appointment.
Okay, fabulous. That's a fabulous prize.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you for
Thank
listening,
you guys.
Maureen. You're welcome.
Enjoying
dear.
it.
Awesome.
Bye-bye now.
All right, bye-bye. All right, perfect. Well, Lori, thank you for calling in. Maureen, thank you for calling in. And there you go, Ty. We really appreciate you guys passing along that information and giving that prize away. That's a great thing. Ty, tell me what's been your worst experience out there in the field so far? The worst situation you've run into?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I'd have to say years back had a broken sewer line.
Ugh.
And it was near the house near the Intercoastal.
God, that was crappy, huh?
Yeah.
You beat me to it. I'm over here thinking of something to say.
I think anyway, because the water table was so high, being near the Intercoastal, we're digging, water's coming into the hole, and the more we dug, the bigger the hole got. I mean, it was just it wound up being from a 3 or 4 hour job to about a 16-hour job, just because of down in the hole with broken sewer, big 8-inch sewer line, and it just. I think that would have to be one of my top 5, definitely, that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, that was not fun, not fun at all.
Better you than me on that one, because that's just not happening.
Now, of course, your wife made you take a shower before you went out to dinner that night?
Dinner? What? I didn't have dinner.
Oh,
actually, she came out and helped. No, I'm kidding. No,
hey, good for you. Honey, here's a shovel. You ever see one of these? It's not a mop. It's not a broom. It kind of works the same way.
Awesome. Well, if folks needed to know, what what would be, besides the water heater, what would be one of the number one maintenance issues that you see in a home regarding plumbing?
Well, what we do is when the technicians come to the home, we basically offer a free, what we call, safety inspection, and it's a 3-point inspection.
Nothing's free.
Oh, this one is. It's free.
Really? Wow.
Absolutely. We're already there, so we're doing it. We're doing it for nothing extra. But the 3-point safety inspection basically entails the 3 most common places of water damage that the national insurance companies, the largest insurance companies out there, say are the most common places for water damage and insurance claims. One is the water heater.
Okay.
The second one is your washing machine hoses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the third one is the water line behind the refrigerator for the ice maker.
Ah.
Tell me about the water line behind the refrigerator.
Well, as we all know, mostly all of us all have an ice machine in our refrigerators. So you got a small water line. Usually comes out of the wall behind the refrigerator. Sometimes they're plastic, sometimes they're copper. But what happens is people pull them out, move them to clean, back and forth. The line gets kinked, something like that. They don't realize it drips slow and causes a lot of damage behind the refrigerator because you can't see it until basically it comes out from behind the refrigerator. Either the floor starts to warp, the drywall starts to get moldy and smell, things like that.
I thought that was just my socks that I smelled around the house.
No, that's behind the dryer.
All right. Hey, honey, if you're listening, he says move the refrigerator out and clean behind it. Thanks, honey.
No, she can have us do that. We'll come out, we'll check it for her, and that's one of those the get help for $25.
Yeah, but based on Dino's running of wiring fiasco the other day, I would definitely recommend that you call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing to do anything like that.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Yeah, that was nice.
We're sitting over and he's running wires for speakers and
drilled them through the ceiling and trying to get them through the wall.
Pulled it down to the ceiling and he takes the 2 wires so that he didn't have a fish, so he's going to pull the other wire up with the wire that was already running through. So he takes mastic tape, and he tapes the 2 wires together. And I look over at his missus. This is, what's going to be funny is when he starts pulling that wire up and the joint comes loose, and then he's stuck with it in the middle. And what do you know?
Yeah, what do you know? Then I started drilling holes and just...
So he did it the opposite way. He drilled down through the ceiling, over through the wall, and up through the other side.
Dude, man.
Give Benjamin Franklin Plumbing a call. I think it'll look a lot better.
Yeah, I think Dino was the one that ran the phone cables at my last house.
Probably.
I went up on the plant shelves. I was following some wires one time, and the guy, it was unbelievable. He drilled like 2-inch holes.
I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to get the cable back down through the wall and out to where I think I'm just going to run it the same way. Drill it through the garage, run it down the garage wall, drill the hole through the garage into the front room, and cover it with a plate. We're good.
Now, one question I have on the water heaters is the anno rods that are in the water heaters. Tell me a little bit about those and what should be looked at on those.
Basically, all water heaters, all tanked water heaters, I should say.
Actually, you know what, Ty? Give me a second here. Let's go ahead and answer that question after the break.
Alrighty.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break first. 340-1590. We got Benjamin Franklin, Ty, on the line with us here, answering all your plumbing questions for your home. So give us a call, 340-1590. You're listening to Cover Time Live. We'll be right back.
Elite Electric, specializing in all your electrical needs, from security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Elite Electric has been family-owned and operated on the Treasure Coast since 1988, and they're recommended by Comfort Time Live. Visit online at EliteElectricandAir.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live. Friday mornings at 11 on WPSL 1590. Tired of struggling to find the right air conditioning contractor? Heard those horror stories about people being scammed out of thousands of dollars? Well, Comfort Time Live has found a great air conditioning contractor that they approve and you can trust. Ranger Air Conditioning Service. Ranger has been in business on the Treasure Coast for more than 38 years, providing the best in quality and customer service. Ranger Air Conditioning Service is family-owned and operated by Tom Ranger. He and his highly trained staff and team members are waiting to earn your business. So give Ranger Air Conditioning Service a call at 772-546-7777. That's Ranger Air Conditioning Service at 772-546-7777 and recommended by Comfort Time Live. Don't forget to tell them you heard about them here on WPSL 1590 and receive a special discount.
BenJamin Franklin Plumbing would like to help you schedule some help, whatever on-time help you need. For plumbing emergencies like a busted water heater, go to schedulesomehelp.com. Sewage problems? Schedulesomehelp.com. If water is dripping from your ceiling, schedulesomehelp.com. If you need help repairing that leaky faucet or upgrading your shower head, schedulesomehelp.com. Want help with your golf game? Yep, schedulesomehelp.com. Right now, get help for $25 at schedulesomehelp.com. Limitations and exclusions apply. See schedulesomehelp.com for full details.
All right, you're back and listening to Comfort Time Live with Tom and Dino. And we're talking with Ty from BenJamin Franklin Plumbing. Now, do not forget, if you want to give them a call, 866-BEN-1776. Now, Ben is 236 for the challenged folks out there.
Can't look on the phone and
hey, I hate that when you got to sit there and you're looking at the phone and you're like,
okay, where's B? Right. WN. Yeah, right. Just give me the numbers, please. I'm not that bright.
866-236. Wait a minute. You are correct about that. That's about the most truthful thing you said on the whole show today. 866-236-1776 if you want to give Ben Franklin a call. Make sure you ask for Ty. Make sure you only call after the hours of 12 a.m. And I think, Ty, you're on call all the time, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got his cell phone.
I've done my time.
Give Ty a call about 2, 3 in the mornings.
I got his cell phone number. Let me go ahead and give that out here.
Put that out on like some of the chat
Tom,
rooms.
Dino, you know what's funny about that? That's the other thing that we do that nobody else does. We have a person answering our phones 24 hours a day.
Not an
answer. A live person?
A live person.
Very cool.
And not push 1, push 2,
Nope.
push 12, push 13.
Nope. And then if you do need somebody out in the middle of the night, we have a technician on call 24 hours a day.
He's the one you wake up at 3 in the morning, come over and
yeah, he's got and he has a smile on his face.
better, because I'm getting, if I got to call somebody at 3 in the morning, I'm flooding out somewhere, and it's just not good. Hey, I got a question for you, Ty. When the let's say the home person wants to put a little pipe together, how important is it? We can just, glue 2 ends and stick it together, right? Do I actually need that purple stuff, too?
Yes. Yeah, when you're doing plastic PVC, CPVC pipe, it tells you, basically the directions are on the cans of the glue and the cleaner. But, yeah, you do need it. Basically all you're doing is you're putting some glue in between 2 pieces of plastic if you don't use the actual primer or cleaner, whichever you want to call it. There's actually each. A glue joint, basically what happens is that glue actually melts the 2 pieces of plastic together. It becomes one piece. If you do not use the primer, it won't happen. You can go down 12 years down the road and put it over your knee, and that joint will split right back apart again if you don't use it.
Wow. And from what I understand, it is code, right? That when the inspectors come out, they want to see purple at all the joints.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It is code. To do that. They color purple. I mean, it makes it look a little messy, but they color purple so that the inspectors know that that cleaner was used.
So for the folks that are listening, if you hired a fly-by-night Dewey Cheatham and Howe Plumbing and they're coming over, make sure they're, look up underneath your sink. Look at some of your plumbing. And if there's not purple dripping off of joints, I would question the work that they're doing.
Now, I'm got a question for you here, Ty. I'm not sure if you'd be able to answer this. When I was at the Contractors Exam Board last week, and
how did you do? Did you pass?
Yeah, I actually did pass. I did pass.
It was only 3rd grade he liked so well for the first 4 years.
Tom, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
I sit there and watch that show sometimes. I can't answer any of those questions.
Oh, excuse me.
No, that's and obviously half the people that play can't answer them either, so I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
But when they were there, they had this big issue with a plumber who is a call him handyman. Mr. I forget what his name is, but it's on the agenda. Anyway, he went to this house to do some plumbing work, and he was switching the sink, putting a new sink in, but when he put the new sink in, the garbage disposal was being switched to the opposite side. Okay? So, fairly decent sized, sink, two different compartments. Now, when he did that, obviously you're going to have to, change the draining lines, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Typically, do you think you would have to change the water lines coming in?
In some cases, yeah. It depends on, the water lines that come either through the floor or out of the wall. They have shut-off valves on them.
Mm-hmm.
All toilets and faucets all have to have what we call emergency shut-off valves on them.
Okay.
You shut those off, and then there's there's lines that are going from those valves to the faucet.
Okay.
Now they're going to need to be most likely changed in all cases, most likely.
Now, does that part require a permit?
Well, it depends on. In most cases, they say no to change out a faucet or a sink. It's a kind of a gray area.
Right.
I have some municipalities that say yes, you do, and
if
some
you're
that say
soldering
you don't.
lines, does that require a permit?
Yes, when you're soldering
okay.
lines, yes.
Yes.
That basically, if it's anything that's going to be behind walls or anything like that or underneath the floor, that's they do require a permit for that kind of.
So what had happened was this guy did some work, supposedly, according to the homeowner and the inspector, had changed the water lines coming in, and they took all kinds of pictures of the new lines being soldered. Well, it ended up being such a bad job that the homeowners called the inspector out. The homeowners had to then hire a licensed plumber. And the licensed plumber, because the work was so bad, had to pull a permit to fix the work to get it right. And the whole issue was that there was a denial that this handyman guy, it's definitely different handyman service, and I can say his name because it's public knowledge. He denied that he did any of the soldering and whatnot, and so he didn't have to pull a permit because that was done. And the whole issue was that there was soldering done, so he did need to pull a permit, and that because the work he did, which he had to have done because the house would not have CO'd if it was done the way it was done.
Right.
So they knew the work had to be done. So there was a whole big issue with that, and the whole thing back and forth was, does a permit have to be pulled to do this? Does a permit have to be pulled to do that? And everything was no. Like Jack Reisinger said, no for this, no for switching out the sink, no for switching this out. But the minute they said that there was soldering done, then as you said, permit had to be pulled.
Yep.
And that was the question.
Basically, anytime on the water line side, anytime you're cutting into a potable or drinking water system, you need to have a licensed plumber, or at least it has to be permitted.
Right.
A homeowner can pull their own permit and do it themselves, but then when the inspector comes in, he's going to check to make sure they did it correctly and that they use the correct fittings and everything's done so that the people in the house don't get harmed by anything, wrong materials, wrong glue, wrong whatever. So it's not only, again, they feel, like I said, people, I get it all the time when I tell them a permit is necessary for certain jobs, and they the city, they just want to make more money. No, they're there to make sure that everything is being done correctly.
Absolutely.
And that it's going to be safe for the homeowner and their family, and there's not going to be any issues down the road. That's mostly what it's for. And to make sure that the person that's doing the work is capable of doing the work.
Right, and it's, and 99% of your homeowners have absolutely zero idea of the way things should be done, if it's done properly. All they know is it works or it doesn't. So the inspection department, like you said, they're there as backup for the homeowner to make sure it's done properly.
They're an advocate for the homeowner.
Absolutely. That's what they're actually there for. I mean, It's to protect the homeowners and their that's what I always learned was that's one of the biggest investments most people make in their life is their house. And it's an investment. You want to make sure everything is done the way it should be.
And everybody, nobody's crying the blues until a problem happens and then something
Right.
happens, and the inspectors are the one that help the matter fix it. Then they realize the value of it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you've heard it again once here, folks, that coming up at the new coming up this next month at the Contractor Review Board is you can get your tickets here at Comfort Time Live. Go to comforttimelive.com. And we're going to sell tickets to this thing because it's just
getting
absolutely
good. Every
hilarious.
month now, Ty, they have so many people doing unlicensed activity. The last Contractors Exam Board was 4 hours long.
I'm
Wow.
selling tickets, Ty. I'm telling you, I'm going to sit in the
it's
back.
funny.
I'm going to heckle the judges, the
It was
reps.
funny. I could have brought a bucket of popcorn because some of the acts that were going on there was just reality TV stuff.
And I'm sure, Tom, you being being a contractor and yourself, and I mean, you know why things are tight right now. People are trying to save money. You know, the contractors that are licensed and insured and bonded are coming out giving them prices, and people, I have a friend, a neighbor, a relative that can do it for half that price, and then they hire these people, and something winds up happening. They're looking for, unfortunately, for a lesser expensive because of the times, and I understand. It's very tight out there right now, but it's going to wind up costing you more money down the road.
Yep.
If when that person doesn't do it right, and God forbid anything happens to anybody, but just to get it fixed correctly, you're going to pay for it again.
Right, and if you go to comforttimelive.com and you click on the contractors link, it'll put you through to the video of the St. Lucie County Contractors Exam Board. And by watching that, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to understand what we're talking about when we say that it's going to get you in trouble hiring somebody unlicensed, not pulling permits, because why would the city have to do this every single month now if they didn't have enough show topic, I guess you would say.
It's getting ridiculous, and I hear it all week long. I was like, oh, man, that's too high, but I got a brother that can run my electric, and my father does this.
And then 2
blah,
weeks
blah,
later,
blah,
they're
blah.
calling you up saying, oh, can you come out and fix it? He didn't do it right.
Right, and it didn't pass code,
yeah.
and nobody pulled a permit. And
unbelievable. Well, we only got about a minute and a half left on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Ty, as always, it's absolute awesome to have you on the show. I really
thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day. And, ladies and gentlemen, instead of Ty coming into studio because he's so busy taking care of consumers' needs, we said that it was okay for him.
Dude, he's sitting in his office, got his feet on his desk, playing, gambling and drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, now, wait a minute. Now, how can you guys see that? I can see you on my computer. I've been watching you the whole time. How do you see me? That's not
I got
fair.
Matt. I got Matt on the other line. He's telling me.
I got his wife on the other line telling me, you know what he's really doing.
Well, hey, again, thanks to BenJamin Franklin Plumbing for being one of our great sponsors. Thank you for being on the show. Ty, you're awesome.
Thank you.
I want to keep this working relationship going. So give them a call, ladies and gentlemen, 866-236-1776. They'll take care of your questions. I'm sure they'll help answer some things for you. Do not forget to come back to Comfort Time Live next Friday right here at 11:05 on WPSL. Cliff, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dino.
Thank you. Once again, always a pleasure.
Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye now.
And this is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast. Stay tuned for CBS News, followed by 3 hours of Rush Limbaugh, which will be followed by 3 more hours of Tom Sullivan, right here.
CBS News, I'm Steve Kathan.
14, we have a party in the car shop.
That's how it sounded as police rushed to respond to the movie theater shootings in Aurora, Colorado last night. At least 12 people were killed, 33 wounded at the Batman movie premiere at a mall multiplex in Aurora. Police say inside Theater 9, a cloud of gas preceded the gunfire.
There was a gas can that was thrown into the audience behind me. It went off. I thought it was a stunt of the movie. Gunshots went off, and me and my friend, we went to the floor, and we couldn't exactly bolt to make our way out of there. So we crawled our way through, trying to keep the people ahead of us calm so that it wouldn't draw as much attention.
The suspect, heavily armed, did not put up any resistance when police found him. He's identified as 24-year-old James Holmes, a former University of Colorado medical student. Aurora Police Chief Dan Oates says authorities believe his apartment may be rigged.
We have pictures inside the location, and we are trying to determine how to disarm flammable or explosive material that's in there.
The FBI says there's no apparent link to terrorism and no indication others were involved. The Pentagon says members of the military are among the casualties. President Obama condemned the Colorado shooting and expressed condolences at an appearance in Fort Myers, Florida.
I'm sure that many of you who are parents here had the same reaction that I did when I heard this news. My daughters go to the movies. What if Malia and Sasha had been at the theater?
Mitt Romney plans to address the tragedy shortly, as members of both parties have toned down the political rhetoric. But New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is stepping up his call for increased gun control.
Soothing words are nice, but maybe it's time that the two people who want to be president of the United States